Much needed video for my friends that support the Oklahoma Sooner football program. A program that I have the utmost respect for. All joking aside, I respect the Oklahoma program more than any other program. I admire Barry Switzer. I was witness to Bob Stoops building what he built. I had to sit through many beatdowns, similar to the one that happened on Saturday. I was there when Bob Stoops passed the torch to Lincoln Riley selflessly, I should say, because he wanted to maintain the standard that Barry Switzer had created, that he had maintained, and that he believed that Coach Riley could maintain, and Coach Riley did that. Coach Riley was a hell of a coach. There was no light at the end of the tunnel when it came to dominating that series, because we knew how good Coach Riley was. We knew how innovative he was. He might have rubbed some people the wrong way along the way, but that guy was a hell of a coach. Hell of a coach. And until he left, nobody that supports that program was questioning what he did on the field. Nobody with an ounce of brains questioned what Lincoln Riley did, and they shouldn't have. 2 Heisman Trophy winners, 2 #1 overall picks, highest level of success in the country, one of the 5 best coaches in college football. If you want to say that Lincoln Riley had some turdish tendencies, go ahead, but nobody questioned what Lincoln Riley did as a football coach. I get that there's a lot of people that are hurt out there by the way things went down and the way he left. You went through a rough breakup. But this hindsight, Lincoln Riley lacked toughness. His program lacked toughness. We didn't have the edge. Come on, man. Y'all sound like national media types that are only covering the SEC and comparing OU to the Alabamas and the Georgias. There aren't too many programs that reach that standard, but Oklahoma was as close as anyone with Lincoln Riley. So if you want to question what Lincoln Riley was as a guy and you want to question the way he left, that's fine. But this notion that you wanted to hire someone who was the opposite of Lincoln Riley, Bob Stoops stepped down for Lincoln Riley because he was different, because he was innovative, because he didn't want to get stale. So now you go hire a poor man's Bob Stoops, who he got rid of, who was a DC at Clemson, where they had all that talent, and he's nothing but a walking bit. It was admirable the way that Bob Stoops stepped in when Lincoln Riley left, and I think a lot of people at Oklahoma talked themselves into needing to find the next Bob Stoops. Bob Stoops left for a reason. Bob Stoops left for a reason, and Brent Venables is not Bob Stoops. I get the initial hurt. I get the initial pain. But Riley left you for USC. It's not like he left you for some random school. He left you for USC, one of the best jobs in the world. So trying to bring some guy in that's going to understand you and get you and be the opposite of Lincoln Riley, if you're trying to be the opposite of Lincoln Riley, you're going to suck. Because that's one of the best coaches in America. You guys know this. Y'all know this. Snap out of it. Brent Venables is a walking bit. His defenses at Clemson had the most talent that there was. He's not it. So quit rewriting history and acting like Lincoln Riley's not the guy. It's disrespectful. Did he disrespect you? Yes. If you want to say he's a turd, go ahead. If you want to wear shirts that say traitor, go ahead. But don't sit there and try to sell yourself on this whole Brent Venables brings some sort of toughness and some sort of edge that Lincoln Riley lacked, because none of you were saying that before. It's embarrassing. And Brent Venables is an embarrassment. He embarrassed you guys on Saturday. It's one thing to not have as much talent. We've seen that over the course of the series. Hell, I've been to 25 of these games. There's been times where you haven't had talent. But let's just focus on the last 3 Red River shootouts. If you want me to give you some substance to why Brent Venables isn't Lincoln Riley. Let's go to the last 3. 2020. Spencer Rattler. He's clearly rattled. Something was going on in the head of Spencer Rattler. Coach Riley decides to bench Spencer Rattler. He benches him. Later on in the game, he puts him back in. Spencer Rattler has one of the best games of his career. Oklahoma wins overtime over Sam Ehlinger, multiple overtimes. Last season, Rattler once again, not looking great. Coach Riley decides he's going to put in Caleb Williams. Puts him out there. Caleb Williams leads a comeback. I had nightmares about it, because that duo was going to do some big things. Still doing big things. It's just at USC. Not trying to take away your focus. But you get what I'm saying. Two good coaching performances. This year, Brent Venables. He starts a quarterback who clearly isn't ready to play. He clearly doesn't need to be out there. You're clearly trying to run the ball. So you start the statue and you leave the athletic kid on the sidelines, only to bring him in with 4 minutes left, 5 minutes left, whatever it was. No feel for the game. No feel for the game. And the biggest disgrace, and Brent Venables, this was a joke. And this is why I think you're a bit coach who doesn't have respect for this rivalry and isn't worthy of being the coach at Oklahoma. This is where you realize someone's a bit. After the game, I watched Mac Brown walk up to that podium minutes after getting beat down. Have to go up there. Chris Sims going up there with his tail between his legs. Seen Bob Stoops go up there after he takes an L. It's a tradition that the team that wins the game, they go out there, they enjoy the gold hat, and then the losing team goes up there first. You show up over an hour late with your suit on, your hair done, looking the part, looking professional, but your actions say different. That's some bit disrespectful stuff. You disrespected the Red River Rivalry. And I feel bad for the people that bought into Brent Venables. It was a joke from the beginning. This isn't hindsight. This isn't some sort of like thing. I said I would have paid for the limo ride if Oklahoma hired Brent Venables. But it's not too early to get out. You're kidding yourselves with this Brent Venables thing. You need to find someone more like Coach Riley. You need to find someone less like Brent Venables. You ain't going to recreate Bob Stoops. Bob Stoops walked away for a reason. And Brent Venables, you disrespected the game on Saturday. You disrespected the fans. You disrespected everybody who paid for a ticket to go to that game. Lincoln Riley had a pulse of what was going on. He knew when to play the right quarterback. He'd go up there and speak right after. Not sit there and try to look the part in your suit. Going up there after the winning team. Pushing back the whole process so you can look the part and continue this walk-in bit fire hose stuff. I'm mad as hell for my people at OU. I got respect for the game. This ain't no trolling. This ain't nothing. Just snap out of it. It's not too late. You don't have to dig in on Brent Venables. He's not worthy of having the position that Bob Stoops had. He's not worthy of having the position that Barry Switzer had. He's not worthy of being put in the same sentence of Coach Riley. And he might not even be worthy of being mentioned in the same sentence as John Blake. You're about to head to the SEC. Snap out of it. I know you're hurt. Hell, I can't even imagine what it would be like if someone left like that. Because you never thought it was possible. I was talking to OU people throughout the process. Coach Riley ain't leaving OU. You kidding me? He left. You're hurt. It's okay. Snap out of it. And all this, oh, well, he lost a lot of players. A lot of players left. Why do you think they left? Why do you think they left? You think they're dying to come play for this guy? Have you heard him? You seen the way he coaches? Just snap out of it. I understand the hurt, but Brent Venables ain't it. You got to move on from this. Seriously. I admire the sustained excellence. Let's Let's move on past this and let's regroup. Get ready for the Big 12. Don't try to talk yourself into this. You're postponing the inevitable. You should have seen enough. Could there be improvement? Sure. But that improvement's going to be fool's gold, and it's not going to be the standard that was set by the legendary Coach Stoops, the legendary Coach Riley, etc. Let's get out of it. I'm sincerely hoping you do. Because college football is better when Oklahoma has a professional firm ass kicker like Bob Stoops on the sidelines, or an innovative boy wonder elite college football coach like Lincoln Riley on the sidelines. I don't know what's up with Coach Sark. I'm not buying in on Coach Sark. Saturday had as much to do with the guy who was on the Oklahoma sidelines as it did who was on the Texas sidelines. It's just a fact, man. Venables ain't it. It's a walking bit. Get out before it's too late.